Hello friends, Heidi here from Rain Country. God is good all the time. And I recently got a question on how to heal cracked heels, how to care for cracked heels. And I'm going to show you what I do. It's a really simple process. Now there's other ways that you can deal with this, but I found this, and I've tried many different ways, and I have found this to be the best. Now when I was a teenager, and my mom's heels would get really, really bad. And she learned about bag balm, you know, that's used for cow udders. And some of you have probably heard of it. And you can usually find that at Costco. However, I don't even recall what the ingredients are in that. I would assume they're fairly decent. But this is going to be based on my own homemade recipe and then some other steps that I take. But anyway, the bag balm did help her a lot. So that might be the simplest thing, is go get bag balm. But there's still another step you're going to want to take before you apply anything to your feet. If your heels are super dry and cracked. So where they get that hard edge around, and then that edge starts to crack, and then you get sores. And so since I've been doing this, my heels will get dry and maybe start to get cracks, but I've never had those sore, painful cracks since I've been doing it this way. Now, one of the things you can do is they have like those ped eggs. I have one of those the kids got me, and I used to use it. And it's got like basically like a sandpaper on one edge, and then it's almost like a cheese grater for actually scraping your feet with. Now the problem I have with that is it's too easy to scrape away too much of the skin and then actually create a worse problem than what you had before. So what I started doing years ago is I simply just got myself some 60 grit sandpaper. I started off by stealing it out of Pat's shop. Then I went and just started buying a package just for me, so I could have mine and he could have his different sandpapers. And I find that the sandpaper to be the most gentle way to do it. And a 60 grit is good, because if you get a finer one than that, it's just not quite coarse enough. But this is nice and coarse, and it's going to last a little bit longer. Because of its coarser grit, it tends to last longer than a finer grit's going to do. So what I do is I can take one sheet, and this is going to last me quite a long time. I fold it into quarters, like, let's see, fold it into quarters, or fold it in half first. Okay, so you can have a basic line. It doesn't have to be absolutely perfect. And then you can either rip or cut that. Okay, I'm going to set that half aside, and now I'm going to take this half and fold it in half. So now I've got it quartered. You might even find it best just to fold and fold back and forth until it's you can simply rip it along the line. That'd probably be better than wearing out your scissors. That's typically what I do. I haven't had to do this in a while. Now, the next thing I do is I take some masking tape, and what the masking tape is going to do, it's going to help this piece of sandpaper last longer, because sometimes it's not just about the sand part of the sandpaper, it's about the back side starts to get wore out. So I'll put a few pieces of masking tape along here just to keep it together so it will last me a long time. And there we go. Another option I meant to say earlier is getting a pumice stone. Pumice stone is really good for that, and it can last a very long time. Sandpaper is just a lot easier to come by, and I like it better. So then what I do is I fold it in half like this, and I just keep it like that. And I just sand my heels with this. So let's say this is my heel. I'll just gently sand along all the dry parts, or even along the edge of my big toe, or any part where I've got some really dry, scaly type skin. And you can see here's one here that's pretty wore out. It's about ready to go in the trash. I've had the masking tape on the back, and it's kept it from tearing. As wore out as this sandpaper part is, it isn't tore. See, I used to do this without taping it. Like this one here, it looks like I never taped it, and it's already starting to come apart, even though it's a much newer piece than this. I just simply forgot to tape this one. So anyway, that tape will help it last a lot longer, and I've had these for probably I've probably been using these same two for well over a year, maybe a couple of years now. After I get my foot sanded, again, you want to be gentle. Don't go overboard. Just sand it until it's smooth. If your feet are in really bad shape, you're not going to want to sand it all the way down right away. Just do it in little bits. I don't need to even do this very often, maybe once a month. And then I simply take my homemade skin cream and I apply that to my heel, and then I put my socks on over that. And I'll usually do that in the morning. Now, if your feet are really bad, then I recommend that you do that twice a day. So do it in the morning and then do it again before bed if you can handle wearing socks to bed at all, because you're going to want to put the socks over your feet to help hold that skin cream on there so you don't rub it off on your sheets. It stays on your feet. And then all night long, that's going to be absorbing into the feet. And for example, this past summer, that's usually when the heels tend to want to start to get dry and cracked. There was a couple times it started getting to that point where I could tell, if I don't deal with this now, I'm going to get some cracks. So I did that, some light sanding on my heel, and then I put my skin cream on there, and the next day they were just nice and smooth again. And so it's usually just my one heel that gets bad, my right foot, because I'm right-handed. So you're going to typically find most people, if you're right-handed, you're also going to be right-legged. And if you're left-handed, you're going to be left-legged. Typically, that's the case. There's always that one odd person where it's the other way around. But then that's what you're going to find, is that that's going to be the foot that's going to be most likely to get cracked. And so now I do sell the skin cream on my store, but I have recipe videos for these up here on YouTube. And so I'll put the links to these down below, and also to the oil. Now here's the infused oil I typically use in my skin cream. This one's been all filtered out. And this has got calendula and pansies and marshmallow leaves and lavender and rose petals. Now today I just started a new one, and I've got a video I'm going to do that I just did on this, but I think I'm going to put it out after this one, so be watching for it. But if by chance I get it out first, I'll make sure that the links are in here. So anyway, this is a healing salve oil. This is going to be specifically for healing salve. Even though all the herbs that are in this one are very great for healing, this one's going to be more intense because of the herbs I used in this. So this would be even better for using for cracked heels. But I tell you what, this skin cream, I've had no issues with it. That's why it's taken me so long to finally use some of these other herbs to make a more intense healing salve, because I found that my homemade skin cream has done everything I've needed to do, no matter what the skin issue is, and then just using it as a daily moisturizer. So, and if you're interested in, maybe you don't want to buy all the ingredients and herbs and stuff to make it, and you just want to try some first, I do offer these on my store. My store link is the first link you'll see in the description box down below, and also in the end cards when you see the little red nasturtium flower pop up, it'll probably be about right in here somewhere. That's also a link to my store. You can simply click on that and it'll take you to it. And then you can check it out and you can see if you want to try it. And I use the skin cream for, like I say, on my face. I'll use it as a lip balm. I'll use it for my hands, elbows, knees, feet, wherever I need it, or any cuts, scratches, and scrapes, which I have a couple right now that I think I'm going to put some on. Very, very helpful. So again, just 60 grit sandpaper and then the skin cream, and that has worked wonders for my feet. That I haven't had a sore crack in years. All right, well, that's it. I hope you found this helpful. Thanks for watching. Take care and God bless.